Welcome back to the Sovereign Ratio. If you're on KuCoin and you're in the United States or don't believe in KYC, you need to watch this video. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave me a comment below. Alright, I'm going to make this message short and sweet. Instead of reading the Cointelegraph article, I'm just going to paint the picture right now. If you're on KuCoin, it's going to require KYC starting today. And if you don't KYC, you will completely be limited to withdrawals and sales and deleveraging only. So for international investors, this is not as much of a problem because there are a lot of other exchanges internationally that still offer these altcoins like Wilder which I'm going to use an example of now. Exchanges like Gate.io and Bitfinex have Wilder. However, if you're in the United States, it's a little bit more problematic because you're relegated mostly to Uniswap. Wilder is a particularly good example for United States customers because there's really nowhere that you can get it now that doesn't require KYC, and most of those places that require KYC don't support US markets, such as now KuCoin, Bitfinex, Gate.io, BitGet, MEXC. Unfortunately, assets like this are only available on Uniswap to US customers versus assets like Gala Games, both of which we believe in strongly on this channel. At least Gala is available on the US exchange Gemini. Now, you do have to KYC on Gemini, but as a resident in the United States, you are able to buy Gala Games tokens through Gemini, which there are some that you can buy on exchanges in the United States, and there are some that you cannot buy on exchanges in the United States. Another example of that is Victoria VR. I made a previous video on Victoria VR because I do believe with Apple's new headset device and VR being a token that's potentially working to be on that device, I think VR as an extremely low cap altcoin is a really high risk to reward play that might be worth investing a little bit of money into. And we talked about this in previous videos. So if you look at it though, the markets, it's only available on KuCoin, Gate.io, Huobi, Bitmart, Novadax, and some others, none of which are available to US customers. However, it is available on Uniswap, though the volume and the liquidity is not great. So using VR as an example, if you're looking at an altcoin that's only available on Binance or KuCoin or whatever, and you're a US customer, you need to know immediately that you're only able to get this on Uniswap. And sometimes it requires Tether, sometimes it requires Wrapped Ethereum. So the reason I'm making this video is you need to go educate yourself on how to use MetaMask or a cold wallet or whatever to exchange these assets on Uniswap using Ethereum Gas, or maybe even on KyberSwap using Polygon Gas, or maybe even on PancakeSwap with BNB in order to acquire these assets, which you would then have to store on a cold storage wallet in order to have them for the next bull run. Because I love each and every member of my community, I also want to provide an alternate solution that I'm not going to give direct details about, but it does require the use of a VPN. BitGet is an option that still does not require KYC. Who's to say it won't be tomorrow that they require KYC? I have no idea. But currently BitGet is a good option if you're looking to perform transactional things on Web3 or crypto tokens or whatever. That is an option for you. And from what I hear, they're a good exchange, and the people that run it are really nice and very pro crypto versus, others like FTX, which we saw the collapse of, and Celsius, which Alex Mashinsky just got arrested yesterday, amidst the XRP good news and all that stuff. Anyway, BitGet is still an option for the meantime. As I mentioned earlier, one of the US exchanges available to use for us is Gemini. And the good thing is one of the tokens that's very highly thought of, at least on this channel, is Gala Games. And that particular one is available on Gemini. So it's kind of an exception to the rule as far as altcoins only being available on international exchanges. So ultimately, if I was a US customer, I would be considering looking at maybe Coinbase, because I just don't know that there's ever going to be an exchange for the United States customers bigger than Coinbase. But we also have Gemini here, which has some other tokens that Coinbase does not have, even though Coinbase has expanded their altcoin lineup in the last few years. But they did have an issue where they did not pick up Gala Games whenever it transferred to the version 2 of the token, versus Gemini, which still does have that token. If you are a US customer using a VPN and you have coins on another exchange like KuCoin that's only going to international customers and is pretty much restricting any United States customer access, you will need to transfer those off. The good thing is using KuCoin as an example, Gate.io did this last year, but using KuCoin now as an example, the only thing that's limited is your deposit capability, your buying capability, and your essentially trading capability if you are currently on the platform before the transition takes effect. If you have coins on there, you'll still be able to withdraw them, although there is a limit of $20,000 per day. And you will still be able to deleverage any leverage positions. You'll still be able to sell any spot assets, and you'll still be able to transfer Tether or Bitcoin or whatever you hold over to a US exchange or a cold wallet or a hardware wallet or whatever your fancy is. So we sit here and we wait on Bitcoin to make a decision on this ascending triangle. We'll probably do a video as soon as it makes a decision one way or the other, whether it breaks to the upside to the 36K, 37K area, or whether it breaks to the downside and probably gets a bounce at 28.5, 28.6. In the meantime, if you want to see a video on how to use MetaMask, or if you have any videos that you would like to see that have to do with the United States KYC versus potentially being on international exchanges currently, please let me know in the comments below. Hope you found use in this video for your personal trading and your accounts. Please smash that subscribe button and that comment and leave me a like below, and we will see you in the next video. Safe trading.